Good afternoon, friends. Important video. What happened? Being a genuine and honest buyer, recipient, purchasing dealer, you have paid the value and corresponding tax GST to your supplier, and this supplier has not deposited the tax with government exchequer. Whether credit would be available to the purchasing dealer, the big question we all are asking. We have seen that day one, lot many dispute, GST being denied for the recipient, purchasing dealer for the fault of supplier of non-payment of taxes. I'm highlighting the important judgment which is coming from Patna High Court in the case of Aastha Enterprises. Writ petition number 10395 of 2023, and detailed newsletter is being given in the description box, which you can read little later. Now, what is the crux of this judgment? In this particular judgment, the case was credit for the purchasing dealer, buyer, recipient, genuine buyer, honest buyer, is being denied for the fault of supplier, who even after collecting the tax has not deposited with the government exchequer. So जो purchasing dealer है, उसकी क्रेडिट को डिनाई कर दिया गया, और रीजन सिंपल ये था कि इस सप्लायर को, जिसको टैक्स मिल गया है, जो परचेजिंग डीलर है, उसने टैक्स का पेमेंट भी सप्लायर को कर दिया, बट सप्लायर ने टैक्स गवर्नमेंट एक्सचेकर को जमा नहीं कराया. So this credit is being denied to the purchasing dealer. What is being cited in this judgment? Important note. It is being stated as per conditions stated under section 16 subsection 2, and thereby that you as a buyer, purchasing dealer, should have tax invoice. You must have received goods or services. Section 16 subsection 2 clause C is important, that your supplier must have paid taxes either through e-credit ledger or through e-cash ledger. And here is the catch. You as a buyer, purchasing dealer, has paid the amount to the supplier. It's a supplier who defaulted, and he did not deposit even after collecting the tax with the government exchequer. And fourth condition, that you as a recipient regularly filing GST return under section 39, which is GSTR 3B. So dispute was supplier even after collecting the tax has not deposited the tax with government exchequer, and it is being stated and held in this writ petition Aastha Enterprises by Honorable Patna High Court that you as a purchasing dealer will not get credit. Credit is not available because your supplier has not deposited the tax with the government exchequer. आपको क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगी. And these conditions which is being stated under section 16 subsection 2, it need to be satisfied together. So together we have to satisfy all the condition for availing credit. Now for burden of proof, it is being said in this judgment, you as a purchasing dealer need to ensure, listen very carefully, this is the part of this judgment, and very important, you as a purchasing dealer, buyer need to ensure that this supplier has deposited the tax with the government exchequer. यानी आपको इंश्योर करना है बायर को, परचेजिंग डीलर को, कि सप्लायर ने टैक्स जमा करा दिया. It is really eye-opener. You have already paid the amount to the supplier. Supplier defaulted with. He did not deposit. Your credit for the purchasing dealer is being denied, and further this burden is being cast on purchasing dealer to ensure this defaulting supplier must have paid taxes. There was the issue of double taxation as well, that you as a purchasing dealer paid the amount to the supplier and supplier has not deposited. Subsequently, this credit is being denied. That is counted as a double taxation on same transaction. So Honorable Patna High Court has said these are taxation policy which is mandatory and it is for public welfare. If there is condition need to be satisfied. And as per the condition, supplier should have deposited the tax. Since government has not collected the tax, hence credit is not available to the purchasing dealer. That is what the summary which is given in this Patna High Court judgment in the case of Aastha Enterprises. Just to recall, and you must be knowing that the judgment of Madras High Court D.Y. Bethel Enterprises, and as per that judgment it was stated when department wanted recipient purchasing dealer to reverse credit for the fault of supplier of non-payment of taxes, and writ petition was filed before Honorable Madras High Court. Honorable Madras High Court held that you can't demand reversal from the buyer, from the purchasing dealer, unless department take action against the defaulting supplier, right? This was the crux. But Patna High Court has considered this judgment of D.Y. Bethel Enterprises and said, having recovery provision in GST law does not absolve, does not mean that you as a purchasing dealer will not take the responsibility and will not ensure that your supplier has paid the taxes or not. Having recovery provision is not absolving your responsibility, purchasing dealer responsibility to ensure this supplier has deposited the tax. So they have not considered Honorable Madras High Court judgment D.Y. Bethel Enterprises. Another leading judgment coming from Supreme Court for Karnataka VAT, Ecom Coffee Global. You must be knowing that how to prove genuineness for a transaction to avail the credit. This was also considered in this particular judgment. But it is now wake-up call for all of us together. We all are debating and discussing what would be the repercussion. And why we all are debating and discussing as a buyer, as a recipient. We are genuine, we are honest, we have paid the amount to the defaulting supplier. Supplier who defaulted with, he did not deposit. So they are saying having recovery provision does not mean you as a purchasing dealer will not take the responsibility on your head, burden of proof, to ensure your supplier has paid the taxes. So I'm going to discuss 3-4 important parameters worth noticing. Section 41 subsection 2 of CGST Act. got notified from 1st October 2022. Read with Rule 37A got notified from 26 December 2022. And as per this provision, it is being stated, if your supplier has defaulted, has not paid the tax towards the supply made by him, then recipient need to reverse credit along with interest. And whenever this defaulting supplier paid the liability, GST liability, you can re-avail the credit. But interest would be lost to you, to the buyer, to the purchasing dealer. And just to recall Rule 37A very quickly. If transaction, let's say, pertaining to financial year 22-23, then as per Rule 37A, it is being stated, let's say I am your supplier, for better understanding, मैं आपका supplier हूँ, and you all become my buyer, recipient, purchasing dealer. I have raised some invoice, let's say on 1st May 2022, 10 lakh rupees with the IGST for interstate supply. You as a buyer has paid the amount to me. I have not deposited. Rule 37A saying you will get the credit, and there are two conditions you must keep to your mind, that this supplier who has not paid initially, he must deposit the tax through GSTR 3B by 30th September 2023. Transaction was pertaining to 22-23. This supplier must pay tax by 30th September 2023 through GSTR 3B. If the supplier does not pay by this 30th September 2023, then you as a recipient, purchasing dealer, need to reverse credit by 30th November 2023 along with interest. That is what a rule is saying. In my submission, interest is applicable only when you have used this credit, utilized this credit. Yes, I do agree, because condition is not satisfied, supplier has not paid the taxes, it's wrongly availed credit. But unless utilize, अगर मैंने utilize नहीं किया, तो interest नहीं लगेगा. And whenever the supplier pays the liability, you can re-avail the same. That is what the crux of 41 subsection 2 read with Rule 37A. In my submission, if reversal provision which was not there until 1st October 2022, because 41 subsection 2 is a prospective clause, not the retrospective one. Yes, I do agree that condition of section 16 subsection 2 clause C is not satisfied for availing credit. But reversal provision is very first time introduced from 1st October 2022. I will definitely challenge and will see how for the past period department can demand reversal from the recipient, purchasing dealer. They must go back to the defaulting supplier for the collection of tax under different provision of GST law. And that is what in pre-GST era we have seen lot many judgment, Honorable Supreme Court in the case of KK Industries Limited. VAT regime, lot many judgment in our favor. Delhi High Court judgment arising there in our favor. Credit can't be denied for the buyer, for the recipient, for the fault of supplier of non-payment of taxes, which was challenged before Honorable Supreme Court but got dismissed. Nothing was discussed on merit except Bombay High Court judgment, which is contrary. Mahalakshmi cotton case. This is one part of the story, that prior to 1st October 2022, you can't demand reversal. You need to go back to the supplier, defaulting supplier, and that was the judgment of Honorable Madras High Court D.Y. Bethel Enterprises will hold good. Of course, post facto 1st October 2022, this provision can be invoked that reversal would be demanded from the recipient, purchasing dealer. Second, and we all are discussing these provisions. What happened? Supplier, let's say, has not paid the taxes, and because supplier has not paid the taxes, credit is not available to the buyer, to the purchasing dealer. Let's say of 1819, let's assume 1819, and this is the discussion in isolation. Separately I'm discussing. So 1819 transaction, supplier has not paid the taxes even after collecting. Yes, condition is not satisfied. Section 16 subsection 2 clause C. As per my first argument, 41 subsection 2 read with the rule 37A, reversal can't be demanded, but again I'm making a point, and which is worth noticing, is a condition to avail credit. Yes, I will not get the credit. So what should I do as a strategy? My submission to all of you would be, you first avail the credit, then reverse the credit. So once you avail and reversed, and let's say your supplier is paying subsequently, sometime this question is coming out for 1819, time limit to avail credit age as per section 16 subsection 4, time limit to avail credit is 20th October 2019 as per normal scenario. So let's say you know that your supplier has not paid the taxes and you have not availed the credit. Subsequently in 22-23 your supplier pay the tax. Question will come, can you avail the credit now in 22-23 of 18-19? For that, my suggestion to all of you would be, वे फॉरवर्ड ऑल्सो, आगे से आप फॉलो कर सकते हैं, आप अवेल कीजिए और फिर रिवर्स कर दीजिए. जब आपने रिवर्स कर दिया और सब्सिक्वेंटली आपके सप्लायर ने अगर पे कर दिया तो आप री अवेल करेंगे, और री अवेल के लिए देयर इज नो टाइम लिमिट एज पर सेक्शन 16 सबसेक्शन 4. So this strategy can be adopted. So this is the next point which I wanted to draw your attention. And the last pointer which is important, which we all are asking and discussing, it is not a legal point but a way forward. When lot of supplier defaulting with, even after collecting the tax, they are not depositing. It's just a food for thought, and lot of you have suggested in our comment box also. When we posted this newsletter on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, we got those comments. So I'm just summarizing what that comment is all about. This comment is, if supplier is defaulting, why can't government open a window whereby purchasing dealer, buyer, recipient will deposit GST on behalf of the supplier, so that there will not be question of whether supplier is depositing or not depositing, and there will not be any question of credit dispute in the hands of recipient, purchasing dealer. If that window is being open, ultimately being recipient or buyer, it looks like I become agent for the government for paying the tax to the supplier. Supplier is not depositing, then it being penalized for the purchasing dealer, credit is not available. Why can't a window is being open for the purchasing dealer to deposit this tax on behalf of the supplier, so that credit subsequently is not being denied and tax is being deposited with the government exchequer? Just alternative thought which is being given in a comment box, worth noticing. Maybe we can see this aspect as well, but a loud proposition for the genuine and honest buyer. He's saying that why I should be doubly penalized. I have paid the amount to the supplier and then credit is also being denied. आप मेरे लिए विंडो ओपन कर दीजिए ना, मैं सप्लायर के अकाउंट में जमा करा देता हूँ. This purchasing dealer is saying, then there will not be any issue. Government got the tax, I will get my credit. Let it be like this, so that this issue is settled. But there are lot many things which we need to analyze and visualize. But this issue is really a task where government need to come out with clear policy. Why this genuine and honest buyer, recipient, purchasing dealer should be penalized for the fault of supplier of non-payment of taxes, even after collecting the tax. It's a burning topic, firing topic. Let's see, wait and watch. So I've discussed this judgment at length for Easy Digest. Stay tuned, lot many for GST to make GST good and simple tax. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.